Welcome back to our second lesson in Module 1, which is going to be all about passion. So if you're ready, let's dive in. And here's what we are going to cover today. We're going to cover the only 2 things that make money in business, the 8 clues that can help you discover your passion, and the 1 trick you can use if you cannot seem to make up your mind between 2 passions. And lastly, the 1 G word that might be preventing you from taking any serious steps towards your dream life. And I would like here to start from ground zero by defining what does having a business entail. Well, business in its simplest form contains only 3 tasks. And please pay attention here because this is 101 business in simplicity. So when you remember those 3 tasks that I'm going to tell you right now, you will all the time be focusing on the right priorities in your day-to-day activities. Number 1 is the product, service, or offer in general. Number 2, the marketing plan you have come up with in order to sell what you got. And thirdly, the administrative work that is needed to glue the production and marketing. Every single task you're going to carry out will fall under one of these 3 categories: production, marketing, and administration or operations. But here's the thing, these 3 categories are not treated equally. As Peter Drucker says, the only 2 things that make money in any business is marketing and innovation. Everything else is cost. That means in order to have a thriving business, you really need to be innovative. So what a poor start would it be to start a business that you don't feel anything towards? It is like signing up for a math class when you're really into art. Creativity and innovation, especially for small business owners like us, will be a common theme that will show up when you write your sales message, craft your ad campaign, or tweak your product and everything in between. That means searching for your passion is not optional. In fact, it is a smart and strategic thing to do if you want to build a meaningful and sustainable business. But before we explain passion, let's back up a little bit because you might already know your passion, but the wrong expectations and misconceptions you have in your mind might be the reason you still think you don't. And the first misconception or wrong expectation is thinking that working on projects that excite you should be all the time full of inspiration and enjoyment. So when you start testing waters and experience some creative or mental blocks, you rush into conclusion that this new thing cannot be your passion. But here's the harsh truth. Any task you're gonna assume will be 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. But believe it or not, this 1% of complete creativity and fun will make up for the rest not so glamorous 99%. Because remember, most probably the field you're gonna choose will be a new field that comes with a steep learning curve, and that is never fun to anyone, believe me. Good news here is that the balance will tip in your favor eventually, once you figure out how to systemize your business to eventually run almost on autopilot. The second wrong belief here is that only few lucky people get to discover their passion, but the majority spend their whole life without figuring out what they are meant to do on earth. But actually, I don't call them lucky people. I find them active seekers who are willing to put themselves out there and try new things all the time. So discovery for them will come from engagement, not overthinking. Because it's always no till you ask, meaning unless you search for your passion, set aside time and slow down and stop being in a reactive mode all day long for minutia, it will be really challenging to discover what truly inspires and excites you. But don't worry, you don't have to start from an empty slate. I put together a set of probing questions below this video that will challenge you to really discover your thing on this journey. Third misconception here is thinking that your passion is so silly. Sound familiar? Yes, many people think that they have to cross off some idea because it cannot be monetized as it looks from outside. But actually, having that kind of thinking is what stops many people in their tracks because they got caught up in figuring out the how. But in the discovery phase, all you really need to focus on is just the what, and the how, I promise, will take care of itself. But to give you a shot of confidence, here are two examples of simple ideas that were turned successfully into business. And the first one is for a lady called Marie Kondo, the best-selling author of The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And the niche she has chosen for herself is decluttering. Okay, and here's another wonderful lady called Dea, who happened to build her business offering family travel guides. So you can check her out on thedealmommy.com. Now, after we have cleared out some of the myths and misconceptions, let's get into mechanics and define this fancy term called passion. According to the dictionary, passion is the strong feeling of excitement and enthusiasm for something or doing something. However, I find my definition for passion more descriptive and kind of a clue in of itself that can help you spot it right away. Passion, according to my dictionary, is the conversation that you want to be part of and are so thrilled to talk about and promote all day long. Again, to talk about and promote all day long. Because when you start out, people will come to you and ask this scary question, what do you do? And unless you're really super excited about what you're doing and what solution you're presenting to the market, it will not really pique their interest to know more about your business. So this is the litmus test that I use to discover people's passions. But let's take it a step further through 8 probing questions to make sure you get it right. So if you're ready, grab a pen and paper, write down whatever comes to your mind. Okay, question number 1. What is the task that makes you so consumed because you really love it and feel joy and excitement when you start working on it? Stop the video right now and write down your answer. Okay, question number 2. What is the task that you choose to do if money and time are not an issue anymore? Remember, it is taking action, not my words, that will bring you clarity. So stop the video and write your answer. Okay, question number 3. What is the task that when done, you would feel so proud of yourself? And here is question number 4. What is the task that gives you energy and not drain you out? I still remember asking this question to one of my students that was so miserable in her 9-to-5 job. And when I asked her that question, her face immediately lit up and she answered back saying, I want to spend my whole day picking new clothes and selling them online. This is the kind of energy you really need into your business. Okay, what are the activities you are naturally good at or at least eager to explore further? And question number 6, what is the conversation that you wish it never ends, even the one only running in your head? And question number 7, jot down all the books, magazines, YouTube videos, and blog posts that you like to follow and watch. Final question here is, what is the project that you would really regret if life passed you by and you didn't even start it? Now, if you are following my advice and really stop the video after each question, you should be left now with 2 or 3 passions, right? And the question I got here all the time is, how can I just pick one? Well, first of all, I acknowledge that we as creatives can have more than one passion. So don't beat yourself up. This is so normal. But here's the fact. You cannot pursue more than one passion in the beginning. Why? Because starting a business is kind of like a rocket trying to escape gravity. It consumes 80% of its fuel just in the takeoff. So it really needs a Tarzan to start more than one business at the same time. Now, I'm not saying that you should forget about the other passions of yours. Just put them now on the back burner and get back to them once you pull together the first business idea successfully. But what if you cannot decide on which passion to pursue first? Well, here's an exercise that we love to do here in our program, and it's called the 2-scenario trick to get you out of this confusion. And here's how you can use it. If you're torn between 2 passions, I want you to pick for each field one role model you respect his work and start stalking him in a good way, of course, on the internet. How? By listening to his interviews or podcasts, joining his newsletter, following his work in general in order to get a good understanding of the nature of his work and what kind of sacrifices he made in order to reach the level of success he now enjoys. Then I want you to close your eyes and start visualizing yourself doing these exact roles and tasks in each field. Then imagine if you have the option to swap places with only one of the two role models, which one would you pick? Especially if you know that you will have smashing success like your role model. And here's another question that can help you really pick the right field. Which field would you choose without regretting never trying the other one? Now, if after answering all these questions and do this one trick, two scenario trick exercise, you cannot still find your own passion, it is probably one of two things. Either you didn't give yourself enough time to notice what really excites you, as we discussed earlier, or simply because your world is too narrow and you need to expand it. And here's how you can do it. Number one, you might consider doing some volunteer work in the field that you think might interest you. You can also accept a part-time job to simply test waters. Or you can learn about the new craft by getting mentors or taking courses in this field. Or even better, you can offer your service for free if you already have experience in this field in order to be into the trenches and know how things are run behind the scenes. And if you notice, most of the gurus out there oftentimes are posting on their social media platforms that they need to hire VA or virtual assistant. So it can be a great opportunity for you to be an insider and learn that craft from the guru himself. Bottom line here, the tools are many. All you need to do is a little bit of effort and engagement on your part. And know this, sometimes we really slack subconsciously, of course, on following what we think is our passion because we deep down want guarantees that our efforts will pay off. Yes, guarantee is the one G word that might be preventing you from taking any steps towards your dreams up till now. But you gotta know this, if you're willing to do the work and be creative with your marketing and offers, you will make it in the business world. And being with me here right now means that you are serious about your future. So rock on, because I know you can do it. Excellent, excellent job here. We have come to the end of lesson 2, and now it's time to download the cheat sheet and start working on it. And remember, what you put first will materialize first. Can't wait to see you in the next lesson.